Buzzard. It's 2 hours of nothing but metal. So there was a West Coast Guardians game that kicked us off the air last Saturday night, but we're back tomorrow night to usher in Pride Month. Pride in our love for heavy metal. Mm-hmm. So 2 hours to midnight tomorrow night. Going to play
how gay it is.
Brand new. We'll call it what you want. I love it. New music from Era.
Didn't say it's bad.
Extortionist. A band called Rickshaw Billy's Burger Patrol.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I got a good song out. And all kinds of stuff. So tomorrow night starts at 10 o'clock sharp. It is called 2 hours to midnight, and I hope that you can join us. If metal scratches you where you itch.
I want to give Bridget a pat on the back for she said that the hangover is setting in now, and she's
so weird.
Yeah, but
why did it take so long?
We've done it. Everybody on the show has come through, whether or not hangover or just not feeling great. We power through, so we appreciate you powering through. One time, I went to a Tool concert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Had a lot of fun, and then was probably my top 3 hangover of all time. Ooh. But still came and did the show, was throwing up during the show.
No.
I was laying on the floor.
Wow.
They set up a different microphone for him. This is when we were out in Oak Tree, and engineer came in. Remember when we used to have engineers that worked here?
Yeah. Right.
He set up a wired mic that I could lay on the floor and use.
He's laid on the floor.
I need that, you guys. That's the hangover for me. I just got so tired.
Yeah. No, I was
slight headache.
I wasn't laying down because I was tired. I was laying down because I couldn't sit up. Yeah. It was
and you still did the whole show.
Still did the whole show.
Wow.
Still did my comedy show later that night. It was
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Here's him vomiting into the garbage. Splattered into the can liner. Yeah. It's very short because I started immediately howling. But what do you want? He came in and he did it.
I did the
show.
You
did it. Yeah. I'm here too.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So just
powered through. I'm going to go home and sleep right after the show.
There you go.
Get into my work week.
Into the work week. Do you have something tonight you've got to go do?
No.
Okay.
So I'm literally going to sleep at 6:30.
Okay.
I got to be up super early to host an event tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back on my A game.
Yep. Listen, and this is I certainly hope that you aspiring young ladies go, this is what it takes to do this, right? It's not enough to be a pretty face. This is what it takes. You've got to be willing to show up when you're hungover.
Or when you're sick. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Showbiz never sleeps, baby.
That's showbiz, baby.
Right. If you don't do it, there's a line of people behind you. You do it faster, cheaper, whatever. Never get sick. What's the number one rule in showbiz? Never get sick.
Never.
But there it is.
I remember there was one Browns game, not this past season, the season before, and it was actual sickness. I just really bad cold. And again, there's only so many home games. I'm like, I have to show up. Who's gonna do it? So I had to power through.
Yep.
Host it while you're sick.
Yep. Fortunately, you gals can always throw cramps into the mix when you've got to tell somebody why you can't be somewhere.
True.
I've got cramps.
That's when I just use diarrhea.
Oh,
you got diarrhea.
That's a diarrhea situation.
I've got diarrhea, and I can't come in.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Right.
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
No, you got to learn it in multiple languages. So, guys, I can't come in, and there's a really good reason why, but I'm far too modest to tell you what that would be. Hey, the Dallas Mavericks are in the NBA Finals. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Kyrie Irving? He used to play for the Celtics. He's going to face his old team in the finals. Mavs, Celtics. They're going to start on the 6th. That is next Thursday night. They start in Boston?
Yes.
Okay.
They got home court advantage. They were the number 1 seed, and the Mavericks were number 5.
Oh. Yeah, they rolled over the Timberwolves. I like the headline, though. The 2024 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV exclusively on ABC. The exclusive broadcaster. So 8:30 next Thursday night. That is your tip-off game 1 I can't imagine anybody around here gives a rat's ass, but I mean, you know, we have people that listen in Dallas and Boston. And so Mavs Celtics next Thursday night, June 6th, exclusively on ABC. And of course, because Kyrie used to play for the Celtics and wasn't really a liked guy there, you know, he's very petulant. I hope that maybe he's learned a bit. Perhaps he's matured down there in Dallas. But of course, when this was all announced, people in Boston started passing around on social media the time that Kyrie Irving called into a Boston sports radio show under a fake name to defend himself. Remember that clip?
Oh, wow. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, he called in and they were like, wait a second. When he was done talking, they pretty much figured out what was going on.
So I was just calling in saying that with such a rare talent like Kyrie, it's such a shame that the fans didn't welcome him in more. Talents like those are so rare, they don't come by fast, and I think it serves us right that now he's gone and look at what we're left with.
Oh, my God. Wow. No, that's him. That's him. It's the inflection. That is him. It's not just the voice. It's the inflection and the way he talks. I didn't catch that at all when it happened live. Are you just as blown away?
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations, Kyrie.
I must have missed that or forgot about it. That's so funny that he did that.
Yep.
He went through a phase where
That's a good one.
Yeah, he was doing.
He's going through some things.
Yeah.
Yep.
he seems to be somewhat normal now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
in
wonder
Texas,
if maybe,
so
you know,
it evens him out.
maybe Mark Cuban in some way was a good influence. You know,
Maybe.
he's considered to be one of the good guys in those upper echelons there. So game one is Thursday night. Celtics are the favorites, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Joe.
Hey there. How you guys doing today?
What's going on, Joe?
Hey, I got a quick question for Bridget.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just off the wall, but did you ever go to a school in Ohio?
She sure
Yes,
did.
she sure did. Absolutely.
It wasn't West Geauga High School, was it?
It was not.
It
No,
was not.
I went to
Okay.
Green High
I just-
School.
Green? Okay, because I went to school with a Linton in West Geauga High School over in Geauga County, and I was just wondering if you were related to any of those guys, like a Mark Linton or somebody.
Oh, no. I don't know any
No?
Lintons in that area.
Oh, all right then. I was just wondering. Okay, well, thank you very much.
No problem.
All right.
No relation. I feel like Linton is not a common name either.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
sound like it.
I don't know. Are you sure his name wasn't Clinton? Mark C. Linton, maybe? I don't know. Okay, thank you,
was,
Joe. I'm sorry we couldn't make your weekend there. And what would he have done if you had answered in the affirmative?
Right. Just say like, oh, that's cool, or maybe you had a story about him. Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, you're related to him? Yeah, that's my uncle. Oh, anyway, I saw him stab a lady to death one time. Oh, I gotta go. And then you just left holding the bag, wondering what happened
That would have been crazy.
to the Linton family. Yes. Well, I have to assume, though, that your parents are probably, and I'm sure you've talked about it before, but it doesn't spring to my mind, your parents are probably prominent people in the community, too, aren't they?
So there's like a whole battle with my dad. So he was a school teacher.
A battle with your
Yeah,
dad?
yep, 'cause
Between whom? Him and whom?
Me.
Oh, and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was a school teacher, also a coach, football and track. Many undefeated seasons. All of his students love him. He coached and taught forever. So typically, whenever we're out in Green, whether
Yep.
we're at a restaurant or wherever it may be, he always runs into a student. But now he's been retired for several years, and now I'm starting to get recognized more
Right.
than him. And so we had this
Makes
little
him mad.
we had this
He
little battle,
disowned
like
you.
who's the most famous person in the Linton family in Green, Ohio. He
Right.
still says it's him, but he's a legend. And I'm like, well, Dad, seems like when we go out, people aren't coming up to you. It's almost like he'll ask them, like, did I have you in class? And people are like, what?
Oh,
No.
he's doing that?
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
He's really stretching now. I'm like, Dad, just accept the loss. You
Well,
had it.
because you do have to step aside for your kids when they
Yeah.
supplant you,
Mhm.
but he's probably looking at it from like he had more years
Yep.
in his position than you've had in your. It's like my friend Maureen Kyle over at Channel 3. Her dad,
Uh-huh.
of course, was Coach Kyle at St. Ignatius, Chuck
Okay.
Kyle. He was a very, very prominent coach there for many years and very well liked. And so it's like, you know, there's that little tug of war there.
Yep, that's me and my dad.
Right.
I mean, I think he's joking about it, but I'm actually competitive about it.
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, Dad, no, I don't know.
Well, I didn't want to get too deeply in it, but that was the story that I had heard, is that you had pushed him into oncoming traffic one time as you guys were walking around.
Well, it's funny. We do go on walks a lot. It's like me and my dad's bonding time, especially in the summer. I'm home. I'm like, yeah, Dad, let's go walk around the neighborhood. And there
Does
will
he
be
agree
people-
only if you won't sing?
Yeah, he probably would deny me if I said I'm singing the entire time. He may say, I will pass.
He'd throw himself into oncoming
Yeah, he would.
traffic.
He actually would. He actually kind of likes my shirt, though. He laughs every time.
Well, you are his kid.
No,
I
it's-
mean,
yeah.
that's
It's definitely funny. No one's saying it's not funny.
right.
It's just not good. But we'll be walking and cars will honk, and he'll make little comments like, so what do you think? They're honking like, who's that? There's the famous Mr. Linton. Who's that random girl he's with? I'm like, Dad, it's not why. They're probably maybe honking at both of us. Maybe we just accept we're both a little famous and green.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who they're honking at. Hot girl walking down the street or old guy walking with her? Gee,
No,
I wonder who.
Isn't that Coach Litton over there? I'm going to get a little honk. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, Dad, I don't think that's the way it works.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be tough to be a coach because you really are. You're revered by the guys,
Yeah, true.
and you're revered for like your tenure with those schools.
Mhm.
But like afterwards, thanks for your service.
He's really hanging on to it
Right.
all these years later.
And is it a lot of eye rolling with your mom, or
Yes, a lot of eye rolling.
she has to? She's like Switzerland, right? She has to stay neutral
Yes,
in this
yes.
argument between the two of
I
you.
think she'd be on my side.
She would be.
Yeah, we kind of gang up on him a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And you do have siblings.
I do.
I know we've talked about this, but I'm
Older
I'm
sister,
resetting
older
because-
brother.
yeah.
Remember, I was the Whoops child.
Right, the oops child.
Yeah. Whoops, wasn't planning on having another kid,
Right.
but here we are.
The dancing began in the womb,
Yep.
as it was.
Sure did.
Wow. All right.
And so I also have this competition with my siblings of who's the favorite child. And they're like, Bridget, no one else is in this competition but you. Just give it up. I'm like, well, I just want to
So
let you
you
know
win.
I am
That's
the
the
favorite.
best way to
Yeah,
win.
Yeah, I'm the favorite.
You're
Yeah.
fighting against yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like the youngest is always the favorite.
Well, again, my sister is 17 years behind me,
Mm.
so she's,
Probably the favorite.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I always felt like maybe I was because I was the oldest,
Mm.
but who knows?
Yeah, there was a small stint where I think my sister won because she gave them their first grandkid.
Yeah.
So they were really liking her a lot.
Now, again, some people are pointing out how it's potentially strange that your father has been retired for several years, and yet you're only 26.
I know.
Listen, there's a
Crazy.
lot of things.
Remember, I was whoops. They had me
Yes.
very old in life.
Math is weird.
They did. They
Yep.
actually really did have me old. Like it's more common now, but back then, 26 years ago, it wasn't common to have a child
Yeah.
at their age. Yeah.
Like when my mom had my sister, she was 40.
Yeah.
And my dad was 44. Like my dad was when my sister was born, my dad was the same age that I was when my second grader was born.
That's crazy.
Because I mean, I have two older kids, but
Yeah.
I was like, that's very strange.
Mhm.
So then I'm constantly doing math, because girls never get enough time with their dads. And my dad died summer before last.
Oh, I'm
And my
sorry.
sister was only 33. I think
That's
she's
young.
30, something like that. She's early 30s. And my mom's dad died when my mom was 29.
Oh,
So it's
young.
kind of, it's this weird thing where, because my sister was born so much later than
Mhm.
the rest of us, we all got a lot more time.
That's why I get my dad walking all the time. Like,
Right.
Come on, keep
Keep
you healthy,
them
Dad.
flexible
Yes.
and, yeah.
Active. Come on, Dad.
What are you getting
Uh-huh.
your dad for Father's Day? You have something?
Oh, good
Planned?
call. I usually always go with the golf theme. He loves to golf. He loves
You
whiskey.
should get him into
he
the
loves
Cleveland
cigars.
Browns golf thing.
I don't think I can do that one.
Oh,
It's a-
all
it's a
right.
hot- it's a
I
hot
guess you
ticket
aren't the
down.
favorite kid.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a little difficult. Yeah, I probably will do something whiskey, cigar, golf related.
Whiskey, cigar, golf related.
Those are his favorite things.
Whiskey, cigar, and golf. Well, he is a coach, isn't he?
That's what retired life is.
Checks all the
for,
boxes.
Mr. Linton.
Yeah, what if you're not into those things? Like when people talk about, he was probably very much looking forward to retirement.
Yes,
Yeah,
can't wait.
he's like, I can get the hell out of this racket so I can have my whiskey and my cigars
Yep,
and my
And
golf.
go golf whenever I want.
Yeah.
He lives it up.
All right. Well, good for him. Hey, by the way, I can't believe it took them this long to do this, but the NHL has announced the Stanley Pup. You see this? Hey, they have the Puppy Bowl during the Super Bowl, and the NHL is rolling out the Stanley Pup. So that is next Friday night, 1 week from tonight. on ESPN in the United States.
So what's it entail? Are
is
they
this-
like on ice? Or?
Good
Good
pun.
pun,
What does it
yeah.
entail? All 32 NHL teams will be represented by a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an adoption thing. You know, you've watched the Puppy
Yes,
Bowl
yeah.
before
So
where they
similar.
have the animals. Yeah. And so the NHL is doing this. Now they pointed out that they're not really going to be on ice. I wish they were. It would be 100 times more exciting if they were on ice, but they're not. It's going to look like that. But the inaugural Stanley Pup will be next Friday, presented by Petco. And boy, that's exciting. And I can't believe it took them. The people with the NHL have watched 20 years. I think it's been around that long. Puppy Bowl's been in a long
It's
time,
been a minute,
right?
yeah.
For 20 years, these guys at the NHL watched the Puppy Bowl and thought, God, I wish we could do something like that. If only we had a cool name for it.
Someone new was hired in the marketing department.
I guess so. Yeah.
Figured it all out.
Like, hey, dummies, why don't we have dogs running around and doing stuff? Okay. Well, yeah. Good for them. Hey, there's also a lady. I'm a Gen Xer. I was born in 1971. And
What day?
I don't remember at all. I remember the year.
That was
I
good,
don't
though.
remember the day. But I see this girl. She's really gone viral on TikTok because she's a Gen Xer too, and she's kind of angry. And her name's Kelly Mano, and she posts a lot of these videos where like a millennial or a Gen Zer will ask a question, and then she'll come out guns blazing, like, we didn't have to do this, and you don't understand. You know, not angry. She's being cheeky, but
I'm so sick of the
I am too.
generation
I gotta
things.
say,
I don't
remember it being a thing
because
when I was growing up.
well,
it's just the social media has made
yeah.
it such a thing where it's like, because the one thing that I've never related to is people in my generation. So like when people are like, oh, all you millennials are just like, I'm like, nah, I was always just kind of doing my own thing. So when people talk about all that crap, I'm just like, nah, I'm not. I don't know. I always felt like an outcast anyway. So when people are like, oh, millennials all do this. Also, I'm in a weird spot where I'm a old millennial. So everything that they're attributing to millennials is the younger ones. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do any of the stuff they do. So
Well,
yeah.
I identify very much with my generation, but it's because specifically we didn't care about anything, right? You might have noticed we've been left out of the generational arguments because it's been boomers versus Gen Zers because nobody's thinking about Gen X, and that's how we like it. So this lady, she's making us sound like boomers.
You're like, hey, keep it quiet.
Yo,
we're the generation people
We're
like.
hanging out.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if they like, but they're not thinking about
Yeah,
us.
true.
That's fine.
When y'all are saying that y'all used to drink from the hose, were sinks not an option?
Who's gonna tell him? You want me to tell him? We weren't allowed in the house. Our childhood was like one never-ending episode of that TV show Survivor. We are indestructible. We've never sat in car seats. Nobody's ever given us swimming lessons. We've all been either shot with a BB gun or stabbed with a jart. The television stations had to make a commercial reminding our parents that they had kids. Every night on the 10 p.m. news, a voice would come on and say, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Sinks were not an option.
That's how you know she's also Central Time because of the 10 p.m. news. That's what we had, in the Midwest. But
She's funny. I like it.
no, it's funny. Her
Yeah.
videos are funny, but
That's kind of
I'm
hacky.
like-
That's just all the stuff that I heard when I was starting stand-up too.
well, no, but it's also. I think
yeah.
she's just a regular lady. I don't think she's a comic. But
I know
mean,
she's not a comic, but I'm saying like this is rehashed stuff I've heard so many times that I'm like, yeah, we get it. You guys are so tough, and like, we
right.
drink
It
from
makes
the
you
hose.
makes it sound like boomers.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird.
it's just. Yeah.
You kids
Like-
don't know what's going on. I'm like, because that ain't me.
Also,
I mean,
drinking
I'm
from
not-
the hose, like I've seen kids still do that. Kids will drink from anything. They're idiots. Like it's
We drank from the hydrant.
yeah, like oh, the hydrant. That's disgusting. No,
Well, it'd spray all over the place. Stick your mouth on it.
Yeah, but and a lot of the times when you drink from the hose, it's just because you were outside having fun and you didn't want to go
Go
in.
inside, yeah.
Yeah, because you're just like, oh, I'm out doing stuff. There's the hose. You gotta let it run for a second. You learn that so you don't get the hot water. And you take a few slugs from the hose and then get back to work.
And you would have been screamed at to not drip through the house in the first place.
Yeah.
That's why you went for the hose.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, I'm going to break. You can text for anything, 351